Developing a complex product and want to learn more about how to better manage the project? Heard of Scrum, but not sure what it is and how does it work? Or maybe you just don't want to read that page of Scrum guides full of text. In this video, we will be sharing with you the basics of Scrum and what are some of the key roles and elements needed for the framework. Don't worry if this is your first time hearing about Scrum, because that is actually the main objective of this video. To share with you what is Scrum and how does it work. So sit back and get ready to absorb everything like a sponge. Hello everyone, this is Adrian Ching from Upstack Studio. We're using the Scrum framework as well on a daily basis to help our clients build complex products. As cited in the official Scrum guide, Scrum is lightweight and simple to understand, but difficult to master. So, we are constantly learning more about Scrum as well while implementing the framework to build better products. Hopefully this introduction to Scrum helps to get you started on your Scrum journey. Before we move on, there should be a click to subscribe icon at the bottom right of this video. If you'd like to learn more about product development, it is highly recommended that you hover over the icon right now and click on the subscribe button that pops up. We're sharing everything we know about product development every week, and we want to make sure you get notified whenever we launch a new video. So, what is Scrum? Scrum is a framework that helps teams work together. Scrum encourages teams to learn through experiences, self-organize while working on a problem, and reflect on their wins and losses to continuously improve. While Scrum is most frequently used by software development teams, its principles and lessons can be applied to all kinds of teamwork. This is one of the reasons why Scrum is so popular. Often thought as an agile project management framework, Scrum describes a set of meetings, tools, and roles that work in concert to help teams structure and manage their work. Whenever you feel lost in the project, Scrum is structured to help teams to adapt to the various conditions that might occur throughout the project timeline. It helps teams to adapt.
Ini baby ningging.
It helps teams to address complex adaptive problems while productively and creatively delivering products of the highest possible value. Okay, so now that we know Scrum can help us work better as a team, how can we implement this in our organization? Let's start off by explaining the key roles in Scrum. There are three key roles that are needed for the Scrum framework. First of all, the product owner. Product owner is responsible for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the development team. We will explain more about development team in a bit. Essentially, the business is represented by the product owner who tells the development team what is important to deliver. The product owner should not only understand the customer, but also have a vision for the value the Scrum team is delivering to the customer. Usually, product owner will be the one taking all the inputs from various key stakeholders and prioritize the work. Their job is to prevent conflicting priorities and unclear directions from reducing the effectiveness of the team. One of the key responsibilities of a product owner is to manage the product backlog. They will be the one adding new items into the product backlog, clearly expressing the requirements, ordering the items in the product backlog to best achieve goals and mission, and ensure the development team understands the item in the product backlog. The next role is Scrum Master, who serves as a facilitator to both product owner and the development team. Scrum Master is responsible for gluing everything together and ensuring that Scrum is being done well. They help the product owner define value, the development team delivers the value, and the Scrum team to get better. They serve the product owner by helping them understand and communicate value, to manage the backlog, help them plan the work with the team, and break down the work to deliver the most effective learning. As for the development team, the Scrum Master helps them self-organize, focus on outcomes, get to a done agreement, and manage blockers. The Scrum Master also serves the organization at large, helping them to understand what Scrum is and create an environment that supports Scrum. Lastly, the development team. This is the team that does the work. So, who is part of the development team? The term development team at first glance might mean developers or programmers to you, but in Scrum, that's not the case. Depending on your project, development team might include developers, designers, testers, or for anyone who plays a role in building the product. The development team should be able to self-organize so they can make decisions to get work done. Self-organization isn't about disrespecting the organization, but rather about empowering the people closest to the work to do what's needed to solve the problem. The optimal development team size should be small enough to remain nimble and large enough to complete significant work within a sprint. So those are the 3 key roles required for Scrum. Which role do you think you play in your team? Let us know in the comments below by commenting Product Owner, Scrum Master, or Development Team. Let's talk about Scrum Artifacts. What are Scrum Artifacts? Artifacts are the key elements to provide the Scrum team with all the necessary information for them to complete their task. These are specifically designed to maximize transparency of key information so that everyone in the Scrum team has the same understanding. Here are 3 key artifacts. Number 1, Product Backlog. Product Backlog is a list of items consisting of features, functions, requirements, enhancements, and many more. It is the single source of requirements for any changes to be made to the product. The most important items are shown at the top of the product backlog so that the team knows what to deliver first. The backlog serves as a connection between the product owner and the development team. The product owner is free to reprioritize work in the backlog at any time due to customer feedback, refining estimates, and new requirements. Once the work is in progress though, changes should be kept to a minimum as they disrupt the development team and affect flow, focus, and morale. Number 2, Sprint Backlog. Sprint Backlog is a set of product backlog items selected for the sprint, and this is the list of items that has to be completed within a particular sprint. The development team forecasts what functionality can be delivered in the next increment and moves this item from the product backlog into a sprint backlog. As new work is required, the development team adds it to the sprint backlog. As work is performed or completed, the estimated remaining work is updated. When elements of the plan are deemed unnecessary, they are removed. Only the development team can change its sprint backlog during a sprint. The sprint backlog is a highly visible, real-time picture of the work that the development team plans to accomplish during the sprint, and it belongs solely to the development team. The last artifact, Increment. Increment is essentially all the items completed during a sprint that is considered done. Each team has their own definition of done, and this should be defined properly so that everyone is on the same page of what does done mean to the team. At the end of a sprint, the increment must be done, which means it must be in a usable condition and meet the Scrum team's definition of done. Acceptance criteria are defined to make sure everyone understands what done means. Now, you might be confused about how these roles and artifacts work together. Make sure to keep watching as we will be sharing with you, after the next part of this video, a diagram on how each of the parts and pieces work together to form the Scrum frame. Before that, let's talk about Scrum events. Scrum events are time-boxed events to create regularity and to minimize the need for meetings not defined in Scrum. Each event in Scrum is a formal opportunity to inspect and adapt. The first event, Sprint. Sprints are at the very heart of Scrum and Agile methodologies, and getting sprints right will help the Agile team ship better products. Sprint breaks down big, complex projects into bite-sized pieces, making it more manageable and giving the Scrum team more flexibility to adapt to changes. Sprints contain and consist of the sprint planning, daily scrums, the development work, the sprint review, and the sprint retrospective, which we will be explaining more as these are Scrum events too. Each sprint has a sprint goal of what to achieve, and no changes that would endanger the sprint goal should be made. Last but not least, sprints are limited to 1 calendar month or less. We use a 2-week sprint here at Upstack Studio as we find 2 weeks to be sufficient enough to develop meaningful increments while being flexible and nimble. Next, sprint planning. This is the start of a sprint where the product owner, Scrum Master, and the development team sit down together to plan for the sprint. The purpose of sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that work can be achieved. This is when the team moves items from the product backlog into the sprint backlog and establish the sprint goal. Once the sprint planning is done, the sprint is officially kicked off and the development team gets to work. The next Scrum event will be the Daily Scrum. Daily Scrum is a brief stand-up meeting, time boxed to around 10 to 15 minutes. In Daily Scrum, the team discuss and plan work for the next 24 hours. This optimizes team collaboration and performance by inspecting the work since the last daily scrum and forecasting upcoming sprint work. If the team has any opinions or challenges that they are facing, this is the best time to voice out and let the whole team know so that the team can discuss how to overcome these blockers. There are 3 simple questions that you can use to structure daily scrum. Get everyone on the development team to share their answers to these 3 questions. Number 1. What did I work on yesterday? Number 2. What am I working on today? And number 3. What issues are blocking me? These questions highlight progress and help flag team blockers. Also, it strengthens the team when everyone shares the progress they are contributing to the team. Once we get to the end of the sprint, the Scrum team will have a sprint review. A sprint review is about demonstrating the hard work that the Scrum team has done for the whole sprint. The team gathers to demo and describe the work they've done for that iteration. At this stage, acceptance criteria defined during the sprint planning will be used to confirm that an item in the sprint backlog is considered done. After the sprint review and before the next sprint planning, there's another event that should occur, and that is sprint retrospective. Sprint retrospective is an opportunity for the Scrum team to reflect and strategize for the next sprint. The team will discuss how to become more effective and create a plan to implement these improvements during the next sprint. Now, let's take a look at the Scrum framework as a whole. You should see a diagram that showcases the Scrum framework. This is a diagram from scrum.org. Let's start from the left side of the diagram. You can see there's a product backlog where all the features, functions, improvements, and fixes will be managed by the product owner. That will be the start of a sprint. The Scrum team will kick off the sprint with a sprint planning, where the team sits down and discuss what are the items that should be prioritized and worked on for the sprint. The development team will be responsible for forecasting the items that can be worked on according to the capacity of the development team. Prioritized items are moved into the sprint backlog. These will be the items that are necessary to achieve the sprint goal. Then, the development team will get to work and daily scrum will be held every day. During the daily scrum, product owner, scrum master, and development team sit down together for 10 to 15 minutes to discuss about the work they've done yesterday, what are they going to work on today, and any blockers that might potentially hurt the sprint goal. At the end of the sprint, the team sits down together again to share the work that has been done and mark items that have achieved all the acceptance criteria as done. These items will be increment or potentially shippable product. After the sprint review, sprint retrospective is organized to discuss and reflect on the past sprint, and the team will come up with a plan for improvements in the coming sprint. And the cycle keeps going. So yes, this is how Scrum works. Hopefully you will have a better idea of what Scrum is now, and we can't wait to see how you implement it within your organization. If you find this video helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend whom you think needs to watch this. That's all for this introduction to Scrum video. We would love to know what you think about this video and how it helped you understand Scrum. Don't forget to drop us a comment below. I'll see you in the next video.